ways today for you and me in our crooked ways. Prepare the way of the Lord. Make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight. And I like this verse. And the rough ways made smooth. Would you like that this Christmas? Would you like your rough ways made smooth? To save energy and walk the true path for your life? You bet! We would all love to get back on the right way. Instead of feeling like a pinball in the machine of life. Instead of going this way and that way, wouldn't it be great to truly have focus and direction and appreciation for every day that we live? So now this gospel engages us. That your rough ways will be made smooth. So begin to think about that. What did Jesus do for a living for 30 years? What did he do? He's a carpenter. He's a woodworker. He was great with sandpaper. And sandpaper doesn't feel too good on the other side of it, does it? One side's smooth, a lot of times the other side, and you flip it over and you've got both sides that are rough. But Jesus would use the rough edges on the wood's rough edges and create smoothness. And I think that's a great analogy for how the gospel really works in our lives. When we read this text, when we stand up here on Sunday morning and we read this text and we say the word of the Lord, and then we always say what? Thanks be to God. Why do we say that? Because we know that sandpaper is going to begin to work on the rough edges of our life to smooth out the rough parts of who we are. It's interesting to me, though, that woodworkers take trees to do that. And then they take trees, and Jesus would take a tree and he would make a table. And this table, today I want you to think about, is not a great big table, but it's a table for two. Now, at the Kentucky Ham Meal, my favorite table down there in that fellowship hall is that one we put in the corner by the nursery. It's a round table, and it's a table for two. And when I'm the greeter and welcoming people in, I kind of look for certain couples that might need that table. To set them aside, to set them apart from everybody else sitting at the big tables. And it's really fun to watch. Some couples having a date, and they hadn't had a date in a long time, you can tell. Others who are just dear friends who get together and you can see that, wow, they're really having a good conversation, just the two of them. So today I want you to think about the rough edges in our life and God making a table, and then he places that table before us and he has one chair for himself and one chair for you. And he sits down at that table and he takes his elbows and he places his hands on his head and he listens to you. As you begin to tell him, Lord, this is who I am right now. These are the smooth parts of my life. Thanks be to God. But I've got these rough edges in my life that I still need work on. And I want to present them to you. I want to tell you about them because I'm having a really difficult time. And I would like you to take your hands that would grip the cross. And I would like you to place those hands on some sandpaper. And I would like you to rub out those rough places in my life. Because it's wearing me down. It's wearing me out. And I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. It gets caught on things. These parts of my life, I walk by and they get caught on things. And I know I'm not as smooth as I can be. So God, would you please do your work in my life? Help Help me, Lord, to focus on the right things, to keep my mind out of the gutter and on God, to love you with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength, to love that neighbor over there like I love myself, to bend, to bow, to serve this season of giving, to not think too highly of myself, to not be haughty, but to be humble. I just know that if we prayed a prayer like that, if we said those words, how happy God would be. And that would change our Christmas. Perhaps the greatest Christmas present under that tree would be that prayer. To say, Lord, this is what I would really like for Christmas. I need my rough paths made smooth, and I've got some crookedness in my life that I would like to straighten out. But you know, I can't do it by myself. So I'm going to ask you to be the God of my life, the Lord of my life, the master of my universe. And I'm going to put you to the test, and I'm going to see if you are who you say you are. And I'm going to ask you to do some healing in my life. Could you do that? What a Christmas gift that would be. Now that's something that's intangible. It's not something you're really going to find under a tree. But it might be the real deep sense of what you and I need this Christmas season. You see, what the Cross family lit today was not only the hope candle, but the peace candle. And I think peace really comes when we open up ourselves to God and we confess that we don't have all the peace that we would like. We don't have that inward peace. Why? Because we're grappling, we're struggling, we're wrestling with wrong and right. With public life, with private life. And we realize that before we judge others, we might better be careful. The gospel invites us into a fresh, new awakening that it is God who makes our paths straight. One of the great lessons I've learned this week is, once again, you cannot worship people. As good as we think people are or that person is, every one of us has our foibles. Not one of us needs to be put on a pedestal. We're all just alike, except for one who took the cross and with blood pouring out over his body, he said the only words that God, through Jesus, could say. And that is, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Into thy hands I commend my spirit. You know who he said that to? He said that to Annas and Caiaphas. He said that to Herod and Pontius Pilate in the 18th year of the reign of Tiberius. And if God can forgive them, then God can forgive you and me. So what is it in your life that you need deep forgiveness for? Your Christmas will be better because you won't have to carry it. Today is the day to do some work. Now, the malls don't offer this, but the church does. It offers you the passing of the peace. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. For all the crooked people who all walk the crooked mile,